Julius Randle could have the best season of his entire career with the New York Knicks next season. In a recent interview that Randle did, he gave some updates on his status after having ankle surgery. He gives us some updates on his mental and physical status. He speaks about entering his prime and touches on so many more points. We're going to break down his entire interview and so much more today. Let's get started. Julius Randle could have the best season of his entire career with the New York Knicks. In a recent sit-down interview that he did with The Shop Uninterrupted, he gave some updates on his mental and physical status, and he gave some updates in regards to why he believes next season will be his best year of his entire career. During his interview, a relaxed Julius Randle, no longer wearing a cast from his ankle surgery, predicted next season as the best season of his career because of a confluence of the most important basketball attributes. Randle continues by stating the following. Me and my trainer were just talking about this. We were talking about prime years. And I feel like your prime is when your mental and physical kind of meet. And physically, I feel like this is going to be my best year. But mentally, I feel like I've taken a tremendous step because I've had to slow all the way down. I wasn't allowed to train. Julius Randle feels heading into next season that he is entering his prime. He believes that physically he's in the best shape he's ever been in, and mentally, which is the most important part for me, he's taken a tremendous step, a tremendous leap in his development on that side. Meaning for him, as he heads into next season, he's heading into next season with the outlook that it's going to be his best year yet, which is a positive, but also that he's in his prime and he's going to take advantage of that. Sometimes when you have an injury, it allows you to reflect not only on your career, but what you've done, but also where you want to be in life. And I think Julius Randle has seen everything going on around him, seen his own self, has watched film admittedly when he said that on the Paul George podcast, and stated that a lot of these things are influencing him, not only on a mental level, but on a physical level as well too, impacting the way that he trains and what he focuses on. And I think that's an important step, especially if you're claiming that next season is going to be your best season, and if you feel you're heading into your prime. Saying that does not come lightly, though. I want to point that out. Because when you say you're heading into your prime, you have to showcase it. You have to show up, and you have to do what it is you need to do. And personally, for me, don't say it unless you're going to do it. If Randle has enough confidence to not only say this, but stand on it, it means a lot, not only for him, but for the New York Knicks. Because if he can come into training camp locked and focused, in the best shape that he's ever been in, locked in mentally, the New York Knicks could have one of the best starts of their entire seasons heading into next season. That's how important a locked-in Randle could be. And I don't mean locked-in Randle only on offense, which we've seen he can excel in because he's already been an All-NBA player because of that primarily. I want to see his defense take a leap. I wish in this interview he talked about his defense way more than he talked about anything else. He should have acknowledged his faults, acknowledged what he's going to work on, and acknowledged the fact that he wants to get better at that. Because personally for me, if Julius Randle took a step defensively, if he was the same Julius Randle defensively this year as he was in the COVID year, we would talk about Julius Randle in such a different light. His value would be so much more different, and a lot of other teams would likely want him because at that point, you would classify him as a kind of two-way power forward. Somebody who can help you defend, but somebody who can help you offensively as well too. I think we need that jump from Julius Randle and see development in that area if I'm going to call it the best year of his career and if I'm going to say he's in his prime. So when you make a bold statement like you're entering your prime mentally and physically, and that physically you're in the best shape of your career, and that you believe you're going to have the best season of your entire career next year, you better damn back it up. Because a lot of fans are going to look at this, and a lot of people are going to remember this, that you said this. You openly said this, that you wanted to have the best season of your career. You're striving for it. So if you fall on your face and don't have a season like that, all eyes are going to be locked on you. I'm very happy that he said this. I hope it's true. I hope he does reach that type of level and have the best season of his career, I'm not holding my breath on it, but I am praying and hoping for it because it could only benefit the Knicks if this happens. But that wasn't the only thing he was talking about on the Shop Uninterrupted. He discussed a number of different topics and different issues. One of the topics Randle touched on during his interview was Jalen Brunson, his effect on the Knicks team, and his impact on Julius Randle, and how inspirational it was to him. During his recovery from ankle surgery, Julius Randle, who is expected to be 100% by training camp, said he drew inspiration from his teammate Jalen Brunson while hoping to learn from some accomplished opponents. According to Randle, I've studied a lot of people. I've studied LeBron and watched how he used his angles. Randle continued by stating, one of the biggest people that pushed me was my teammate, Jalen, because I saw how he worked, and I'm a worker, and I saw how diligent he was and focused. So JB really pushed me. I watched Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. All of these guys. We're all copycats at the end of the day. We learned the game from somebody. Jalen Brunson has not only had a very good impact on this New York Knicks team, but he's had a major impact on Julius Randle. And Julius Randle, to his credit, during his recovery from ankle surgery, because he couldn't do anything, he sat down and he tried to get inspired by some of the greats who are playing in the NBA today, including LeBron James. He watched him. He drew inspiration from his teammate, Jalen Brunson. He watched him. He watched some other key people in the industry today, not only in the music industry, but in the NBA industry and other industries as well too, to see what they do, how they lead, and what winning qualities that they have. And the reason that he did that is because he wanted to train in a way mentally because he wasn't able to train physically. And he even said during his interview with Paul George, it was one of the first times he had the ability to do that, and it allowed him to slow things down, understand the game more, and see things a little bit more clearly. And I think it's always a benefit when you can slow things down, watch them, understand them, and develop because of it. And he had a lot of downtime after the ankle surgery to rewatch games, watch a lot of film, understand what he does very well, but also understand how JB complements his game, how Jalen Brunson makes the game easier for Julius Randle because of how Jalen Brunson plays and how he goes about driving into the paint, penetrating and creating. That type of game absolutely supports the type of game that Julius Randle plays. But he has to play within the flow of that offense as it's being run. He can't just take the ball, stop it, and play ISO all day because that is going to take away from the strengths of what Jalen Brunson has. If he can move the ball around after he gets it from Jalen Brunson without holding for too long, and he's improved his game on that level already, we're talking about a whole new different Julius Randle and somebody that I can actually get behind and root for. Because if you're going to be locked in mentally, physically, heading into training camp, you're going to take the meditation seriously. You're going to be a leader. You're going to have respect for your teammates. You're not going to have emotional outbursts. If you can do this, promise this to me, and control all of this, without question, it'll likely be one of the best years of his entire career because that's going to be taking a huge leap in your game. If you can stop the heavy ISO play, play more team basketball, play within the flow of the offense, and be a willing, capable defender, Julius Randle could have one of the biggest seasons of his entire career. I truly believe that. But we've heard a story like this before. I remember hearing a very similar story last year for Julius Randle, who basically said he's worked on his mental, he's taken a huge leap in that regard, and he's gotten better. Now, to an extent, that was true last year, especially because of the meditation. If he now feels he's taken an even bigger leap from where he was last year to this year, now that is something I definitely want to watch. One of the final topics Julius Randle spoke about during his interview with the Shop Uninterrupted was the aspirations for him and the New York Knicks heading into next season. According to Randle, it's always going to be unfinished business. So we made it to the second round. We have aspirations for obviously bigger and better things. We want to win a championship at the end of the day. Now, he did go on to clarify that he's not thinking that the New York Knicks are going to win a championship next season, But he says that the ultimate goal for him and for the Knicks is to win a championship. Now, even I could have told you that, because that's legitimately the inspiration and goal for every single team in the NBA. So this isn't relatively groundbreaking news, but it is great to hear and note that the New York Knicks and Julius Randle have a very, very similar goal in mind: to win a championship and to bring that championship to New York. And why would that be a surprise? Every single Knicks fan that I know of wants the New York Knicks to win a championship sooner rather than later. But I'm not being oblivious here. I completely understand that the Knicks are going to have a hard road ahead of them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and even the NBA Finals. It's going to take a lot to get there, a lot of work, and a little bit of luck. But you know what? I think the New York Knicks can give themselves the best chance to do so if they come into training camp, all of them, especially your starters, locked in, focused, and ready to play. And hearing these comments from Julius Randle, knowing that Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Josh Hart, and Quentin Grimes are going to be in some level participating in the FIBA World Cup, and they're going to have that training underneath their belt, I think heading into next season, all the New York Knicks are going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be well prepared, experienced. They're going to have that chemistry already built out. But most importantly, they are going to be locked in, focused, and more than ready to begin the season and hopefully start the Knicks out with one of the hottest starts of the season that they've ever seen before. At least that's my hope and wish. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.